autism is genetic, it comes to reason that some autistic children come from autistic parents. That's what happened with me. I'm autistic because my dad's autistic. I know that there's this idea of, oh, autistic people can't be parents. They're not competent enough. To which I say, please shut your face before I break it. There are many parents, like my dad, who didn't find out they're autistic until later in life. Their child gets diagnosed, and as the parent learns more about autism, they realize just how much it relates to them. I can definitely say that as an autistic child, it was much easier for me to connect to my autistic parent than it was my allistic parent. Allistic meaning not autistic. I can't call my mom neurotypical since she very much is not. So I have to go with allistic. I actually don't know if anyone in my immediate family is actually neurotypical. I doubt they are. Um, when you search for parenting and autism or autism parent, you're not going to find much, if anything, about parenting while autistic. All you'll find is stuff about neurotypical parents with autistic kids. It's why I hate when neurotypicals call themselves autism parents. Not only are they making their child's diagnosis a part of their identity, but they're making it harder for autistic parents to find the resources they may need. Outside of the autistic community, no one gives a thought about autistic parents. There are even parents who have been diagnosed as autistic and have had their parenting ability suddenly questioned, and have been threatened with losing custody of their children or have lost custody of their children simply for being autistic. I can speak from experience that just because someone's autistic doesn't make them an incapable parent. My dad is an awesome parent, and I'm grateful to have him. I've read that when it comes to being an autistic parent, incorrect autistic stereotypes can really cause issues. The incorrect belief that autistic people can't feel love or empathy can make some can make people assume that an autistic parent can't love or connect with their child. People may also uh, think to videos they've seen of autistic children having violent meltdowns and fear that the parent also has violent meltdowns and may be a danger to their child. First of all, autistic people feel love and empathy. Just because we show it differently doesn't mean it isn't there. My dad didn't show his love through hugs and kisses. He showed it by being genuinely invested in my interests and encouraging me with my hobbies. He may not be a hugger, but he knows me. It's because of him I kept going with my drawing. Someone recently mentioned how they love how I draw hands. You can see how I draw hands right now. Um, you can thank my dad for that. I remember whining about not being able to draw hands well, and he encouraged me to practice. Sit down and draw your own hand, he said. So I did. Secondly, when it comes to videos of autistic children having violent meltdowns, one, those videos are disgusting and shouldn't be uploaded. A child shouldn't have their most vulnerable moments online for the world to see. Two, there's a huge difference between a child's behavior and an adult's behavior, autistic or not. I've seen neurotypical children throw themselves on the ground and scream while kicking and punching. Does that mean neurotypical adults do the same? Of course not. Believing that autistic adults are going to act like autistic children is beyond infantilizing. Well, Fenos, just to be clear, allistic is someone who's not autistic but still neurodiverse. Oh, sorry. Already answered. Allistic strictly means not autistic. You can be neurotypical and still be called allistic. It literally just means not autistic. They might be neurotypical they might not be. When neurotypical parents needing help and information when it comes to their autistic children, it makes sense that autistic parents would need help and information when it comes to their neurotypical children. I read about autistic parents having an easier time with their autistic children than their neurotypical ones. Okay, funny story. I've never had trouble talking to my dad. However, this hasn't been the case for my two oldest siblings. I remember when one of their kids was still a baby. My dad would come by their house and loudly enter, slamming the door and yelling, "Hello!" If the baby was sleeping, this would wake them up. This annoyed my sibling, but instead of just going up to my dad and saying, "Hey, Dad, stop doing this," they asked me to ask him to stop. I was really confused. I was just like, "Why don't you just tell him to stop doing it?" And they responded that they didn't really know how to, and that I was always better at talking with our dad. So next time I saw my dad, I told him to stop doing that. He said, "Okay," and stopped doing it. Done! Easy as that. I think the thing that really got me was that this sibling and my dad have always gotten along. This isn't a situation of a parent and child who aren't close. They are. I guess when it comes to confrontations, autistic and neurotypical people have this habit of trying to tell you the problem without directly saying it, which makes it difficult for us autistics to understand what they're trying to say. They tiptoe. I think my sibling didn't know how or didn't feel comfortable being direct with my dad in this situation. It shows that it's not just neurotypical parents that can have trouble communicating with their autistic children and vice versa, but neurotypical children may have trouble communicating with their autistic parents and vice versa. I really hope my sibling doesn't get too mad that I told that story, since I know my dad always watches my live streams and I don't know if they ever talk to him about it. If so, sorry.